Hi guys, this is the episode 1 of the series or season 2 of the Endpoint.ROG Academy series. Today we're just going to have a catch up, recap and discussion about the team and how it's gone so far, and since the last series of when we came to the end of the process and got our final 5 finally. Just touching upon that, it was a long process for us and a big learning curve throughout the whole series from me, and especially at Endpoint. We had community feedback, we learned a lot over the time, and overall I still think it was an amazing thing, especially for the scene and for the players. We've seen some players that didn't make the final 5 actually get offers from other people and get into other teams, which is an amazing thing. It was a hard decision, but overall I'm super happy with the 5 that I ended up with, and so far it's been enjoyable and it's been fresh. It's been a lot of work, and that was known for me that it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of time, and we're not going to get the results instantly that we want. So our goals and ambitions will slowly change over time, but for me at the moment now, I want to take it step by step and game by game. For me, the biggest goal for me at the moment would be to instantly get out of open, potentially make main in our first season, from playoffs, like winning the whole of open. That would be a goal for me, but at the same time, another goal for me would be like developing these players' brands, where I'm telling them, obviously with this content we're going to get the players involved, slowly building their brand because they're getting themselves out there. That's another goal.
Hi everyone. So we've finished the whole process. We've picked our final 5. I think it was quite a long process. We learnt as we went along, really. I know we made some mistakes naturally, but I think you've got to, as long as you try and do it well, mistakes are fine as long as you learn from them, and I think we did. So we've got our final 5. I think they're a great bunch of guys. They're practicing hard. So far, our plans so far have been, we're giving them a bit of the endpoint treatment, hopefully give them some of the products, getting them Noble chairs sent out, getting them some of our sponsors involved, be great. We're trying to plan a boot camp right now. The only difficult part about that is travel restrictions. So we've got one Dutch player, and making sure he gets to the UK is the hard part. So let's hope they're on that green list for the UK travel, and we'll get them a boot camp as soon as possible. Make sure they're practicing well, gelling as a team, bit of team bonding, do some fun activities, maybe some top golf, that kind of stuff. It's going really well. They've been practicing a lot. They had a cash cup, which was kind of like jammed on them straight away, like within a week of being a team, which was maybe a bit of an unfair ask, but I think it's great for the guys to see where they're at, see how they're doing. They took down some good teams. They had quite an unfortunate draw, I'd say, in the quarters against a strong Xenex side. They put in a good showing. What I'd like to see to start with, we went into this knowing that we weren't going to pick up the second best team in the UK. We're going to pick up a team which is on the outskirts of EPS kind of standard, and we try and grow that team into being a good top UK team, and that is our plan. And it also shows, we're starting an ESEA Open. It's very much there's a reason we're doing that, and it's very much because it's a long-term project, and we want them to grow as a team, but hopefully less pressure on them at the start, gel together, and hopefully qualify for main, or could then do well in these cash cups in the UK, which are doing great. So shout out to Rick's GG for that, and LVM for starting those, because they're a good thing for the scene. And we'll be playing in the next one. We've already qualified for the next one, which is great. And hopefully after, now they've been together for, I don't know, a month or something, or by the time that's on, maybe a month and a half, they'll put in a good showing, because they've started to gel more as a team. So ESEA, I think we're 1-0. We expect to do well in ESEA. That's standard. But so far, very happy with the team. We're going to get to them a boot camp as soon as we can. That's all in the planning, and hopefully can bring you more content as well at the same time. Why not?
Being a new IGL in the academy team was a situation where I found myself wanting to adapt to the role as quickly as possible from previously being an AWPer. And this included watching a lot of demos very early on, as well as being able to utilize the resources that Endpoint was able to provide us with, both with George as a coach, as well as being able to discuss with the main team about how we wanted to play the game, as well as obviously getting their input and guidance. So the priority with the team was we wanted to make sure we was eliminating any bad habits that people may have very early on once we started practicing together. That could be a matter of just removing puggy tendencies, making sure that our comms were on point and that we were working well as a unit, or just ensuring that people weren't in the habit of playing more individually rather than being able to work as a whole team and play off of each other. adding on that point, our fundamentals were really good as a team. I wanted to be able to put us in situations where we could just play off of defaults and we could win rounds based off good team play and good decision making in the round. And more importantly, I wanted to not hinder any of my team. I know that all of the guys on the roster have made it this far because they're very skilled, and I wanted to make sure that people didn't feel like they were being put in positions and put in spots where they couldn't be utilized to their full potential. So discussing as a team and making sure that we were all happy with the maps that we were playing, as well as the spots that we were playing in, was a really good way to start the team off and get a good environment for everyone playing with each other.
Practice so far, it's been really good. It's not always positive. There's a lot of things that have gone wrong, and that's natural within a new team. These guys obviously are inexperienced. They strive in some areas and lack in others, right? And that's what we have to build on. I'm not going to name the examples of what happened in the team, but obviously there's days where we wouldn't have rough practice, but we'd have something that's really stopping the team from progressing, whether it's to do with communication, whether it's to do with just individual decision making. And that's something I bring them up on later that day after prac, and we solve within the next few days. So it hasn't been easy, it hasn't just been playing. Yeah, everything's fine, we're a new team. From the very get-go of this team, I've made sure that if things aren't going right, we're going to make sure we fix them. I'm not just going to sugarcoat it and go, yeah, new team, don't worry, we're fine, we're going to be the best or whatever. No. I make sure that this gets sorted instantly, and I think the guys have liked that, and they've liked that style from me to get on top of them straight away with problems and whatever, so we can deal with them because they're really willing to learn. Overall practice has been going really good. We've had some, practice some really good teams, and just taking it one step at a time. And I'm going to repeat that probably a lot throughout this video because we are just taking it one step at a time. We can't get ahead of ourselves,
Hey guys, so first things first, let's put all the rumors to bed. Yes, I am the IGL of the Academy team. I obviously got here from playing through the entirety of the Endpoint.ROG Academy process. I did apply for that and played through the entire thing as an AWPer, but it wasn't really until we reached the round robin stage of the entire thing that I found myself slotting into the IGL and shot calling position, making a lot of the mid-round and early round calls, and mainly being a huge vocal point of the team throughout those games. It was after that I received confirmation I'd made it into the final 10, and Whitey then approached me asking if I would be willing to shot call one of the final 3 games in the show match, as they saw what I had done in the previous stage and they liked what they saw and they wanted me to continue to build on that and obviously get a wider insight in terms of how I handle a different group of players as well as how I call on the fly in a different situation.
First very week of the team being an actual 5, we played in the IEM quali. We were able to play in this qualifier because obviously we can't play the same qualifiers as the main team. So we played in this qualifier. I think we won the first game against some mixed team, which was pretty easy, and then we came up against LDLC in the next round. So that wasn't obviously it wasn't a nice thing, but we was excited, right? We was excited as a team to be able to play LDLC. Yeah, overall, when we went into the game, I just said to the guys, look, no pressure, we're playing a team that is a very, very good team, they're very experienced players. Just go in and just, prove to people what we can do. Because I knew that Rev was going to stream the game. And yeah, overall, we ended up losing that game 16-12, I think it was, or 16-13. And at first, our CT side was really bad, and we started losing a lot of rounds. Went on to our T side, and yeah, managed to string some rounds together and started working really well. And I think that really gave the guys a lot of confidence. It got really close at one point. I think it was like 14-12 or something, or 13-12. I can't exactly remember. But to be that close versus a team that does have very, very good potential and is a very, very good team, and have played in HLTV for months upon months, and past experience in those individual players is years and years compared to the team itself. So yeah, and at one point, like I said, at 14-12, we lost quite a bad round, and it could have got in some cases it could have gone either way. So yeah, to have that experience straight away with zero practice with the boys, to play against a team like LDLC and really go round for round with them on the T side, not the CT, was really impressive. And I think that gave a lot of confidence for the boys going forward. So moving on from the qualifier, we had an invite from LVN to the last UKCS Hub Cash Cup. The one that obviously Rick's has now taken over, but this one that just went was the one that Rick's put money into before they took over it. So we played in that. So for me, it's not about, you know, losing to a UK team or losing to a team we shouldn't be losing to in the UK, and everyone's embarrassed by it, or the community pressure, you know, laughing at the fact that we lost to a team. I don't really care about that. At the end of the day, if you want to be the best team in the UK and you want to break out or break into the European scene within HLTV, you've got to go through, you know, losses to teams that you shouldn't be losing to. And, you know, anyone can beat anyone in UKCS on their day. And that's always been the case. You could be the prime example of this is the Endpoint main team lost to Shets in EPS on Dust 2, you know. Anyone can beat anyone, not even just in the UK. Anyone can beat anyone in CS on their day. So I'm not afraid to lose to a UK team or a UK mix and be embarrassed by that. I've never had that feeling. So for me, I really wanted to get us into this invite with LVN. So instantly when LVN invited us, I accepted. I said to Pete, like, I really want to play in this. Told the guys, and again, we only went into it with, I'm not too sure, like 2 weeks practice or something like that. Very, very weak map pool, but I was confident, you know, to prove to these guys, prove to the scene and the community that these players can play. Groups we done okay in. We played some good matches. Got through groups, and in the playoff stage, instantly went up against a strong team Xenx, who are looking very good at the moment. And in that best of 3, I don't think that we got embarrassed. I don't think, you know, it looked like there was one strong-sided team, if that makes sense. Both of the maps could have gone either way. Obviously, they are a much stronger team. They're doing very, very well at the moment. Team Xenx, they've got a much better map pool in us in that sense. And yeah, at the moment, they're just on fire. So to go up against them and again, give them a good bit of competition and not just get run over was very impressive for me. And then obviously we went out of the tournament. Since then, we've now played in another Rich GG cash qualifier and qualify for the main tournament, which is very soon. I'm very excited to play into it now, especially with more practice. And you know, we've been a team now for just under a month, I think, or just over a month. Sorry, I think it's a month to today actually. So to have that actual little bit of practice behind us now, a more in-depth map pool, you know, got through a lot of problems and you know, rotated the team a little bit in terms of positions and stuff like that, is a much better thing now to go into that tournament rather than before. Just going to touch upon the, you know, the integration of the main team and stuff like that and how it's helped. You know, since the team started, we've had Max come in and really help us. You know, we've even asked him to come on and have a look at something that we might want to use in terms of strategy. And he'll give us an opinion. And again, he won't just give us the face valued opinion of that won't work because of the level he's at, if that makes sense. He tries to give us as honest as possible answer, whether it might work at a lower level, whether it won't work at a higher level, which is very good for us because the play style of CS changes from, you know, each division and each level that you play, each tier that you play. So things are going to be different compared to what he does and what we show him. So to get that, you know, external opinion and him be in the team speak with the guys and answering all their questions, especially with his busy schedule. But yeah, Max has come on a few times, really helped us across everything, not even just server, just in general chats. He's really helped, and he's working closely with Joe. Joe has any questions, he answers for him.
So do I look up to Mighty Max? Of course I do. Max is one of the most successful players to ever emerge out of the UK CS scene. And I think that the talent that him and the Team Endpoint guys have has really been showcased lately with some of the results they've been able to pick up against the top tier of CS teams. In terms of learning from Max, he's already been really helpful with developing our team early on, making sure that we're setting ourselves up on maps correctly and also ensuring that, you know, we're focusing on the correct things to improve on. But I'm actually really excited and really fortunate to be able to work alongside Max. I know that he's got a lot to teach me, as well as a lot of experience to learn from. And I really look forward to being able to absorb any knowledge that he can share with me. But more than anything, I do see Max as a motivational figure for myself, purely for the fact that he obviously didn't start off his CS career as an IGL. It was a role that he picked up after he'd already started playing professionally, and it's something that I'd love to be able to mimic myself and be able to be successful with in terms of the IGL role.
And yeah, it's really been helping the team. And obviously, the guys love having the main team come in and help. It's massive. Not only that, we've also had some external help from people like Neil M, who's really like spoke to me and helped me with loads of things. You know, he's helped me with some pracs and stuff like that. Just overall, any questions, inquiries, and the support that I've had from me is really nice. You know, there's a lot of people, but I want to mention them on here because, you know, their help doesn't go unnoticed, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, big shout out to him. Not only that as well, we're always chilling with the main team in TeamSpeak sometimes. You know, was in there the other day with Mezzy, having a laugh. It's just overall, it's a good little atmosphere right now going on within the Endpoint camp. And yeah, finally, me and Rev had a meeting with Ross. And we dived into a bit about statistics and how we can use stats to, you know, really help our teams and help the academy team, and how I can help them in situations where they need to play more aggressive or more passive. Loads of stuff. I don't want to dive too much into it because obviously that's Ross's genius brain getting to work, and I don't want to give away what, you know, he said to me in the meeting, but that really helped me, and that's something I haven't really done before as a coach. I mean, I've done it really briefly, but not to the extent he's done. So yeah, that was a massive insider to see, or insight, sorry, shall I say, to see what you can do in terms of statistics to help the team and how the team's, you know, working and why they're losing rounds and whatever. But yeah, overall that was really nice of him. We're going to plan to do a boot camp very soon. Obviously, it's kind of hard at the moment due to COVID and stuff like that. So we're a little bit delayed in that sense, but it's going to be really good finally to get the boys to a boot camp, especially with me. Work really hard in that boot camp to try and excel everything at a much quicker pace. So yeah, eventually when that comes around, it's going to be really exciting. And not only that as well, the content that's going to come out from the boot camp, you know, the player headshots and stuff like that. We can do a lot more cool things. But yeah, overall, can't wait for the boot camp. And again, special mention to obviously Pete and Ads for supporting that and supporting the boys, you know, getting their sponsorships in, getting them some chairs, getting them some Beyond stuff sent out. You know, it's amazing. And these guys, you know, they've never had that before. They've never had that in the UK scene, you know. It's crazy to think some of these guys have played within the scene for numerous years now. And this is the first org that's sent them out stuff, and, you know, instantly got them a jersey, instantly sent them out a brand new Noble chair, which are the best in the business, by the way. Instantly sent them out Beyond stuff, drink stuff, merch, you know, t-shirts and stuff like that. They really feel a part of the team, and that's something I really love from Adam and Pete. You know, it's not like they've just let us, Endpoint overall, even all the staff behind closed doors, they haven't just, you know, let the team just gone on and you know, yeah, there's the academy team. They've really made us feel a part and valued within the org, and that's something, and that's why I love being in Endpoint, and why I chose to take this academy idea to Endpoint themselves, because I knew that they would make my players feel valued, and I think that's really helping their confidence in and outside of the server. But yeah, overall, I'm really excited. I'm excited to be back making these episodes. I'm sorry it's been a little while. Obviously, been working hard getting the team ready for these tournaments and the season that was upcoming, because we only had like 3 weeks. But they're back now, Series 2 or Season 2, however you want to say it. There's going to be some really cool content coming out soon. It's not just going to be this ugly muck face at the camera just talking to you constantly. It's going to be some stuff, you know, some fun little tournament things, 2v2 things, meeting the team. There's loads of ideas. I don't want to leak it all. Pete will kill me. But yeah, there's going to be some fun stuff coming up. And yeah, stay tuned.